President Bola Ahmed Tinubu holds meeting with leaders of Ogoni people at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. The Minister of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy attributes the recent 50% increase in telecommunications tariff to global inflation and rising operational costs. On the foreign scene, President Donald Trump signs executive orders and decrees aimed at cracking down on immigration. These and more will come to you shortly. To stay with us. Well, glad to have you back. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has held a crucial meeting with leaders of Ogoni people at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. Governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara, traditional rulers, clergy and political leaders attended the meeting. Also present at the meeting are the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory FCT Nyesom Wike, Senator Magnus Abe, Senator Lee Mebe Olakanugu, Chief Victor Gadam, Chief Kenneth Kobani, Mosneo Pius, Ki Lidom Mite, and Senators Bennett Birabi and Barry Mpigi, Joe Poroma, Gabriel Pidmerson, among others. Those attended on the side of government are National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu, Chief of Staff to the President Femi Bajabiamila, Minister of Information and National Orientation Idris Mohammed, Minister of Regional Development Abubakar Momo, Minister of Environment Balarabe Abbas, Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited and NPCL Mele Kyari, the Director General of the Department of State Services Tosin Ajayi. Correspondent Nabuchu Kinabuchu reports that the major agenda of the meeting is the planned resumption of all exploration activities in Ogoni land and the state of the clean-up exercise in a devastated Ogoni environment. Minister of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy Tijani Bosun attributed the recent 50% increase in telecommunications tariffs to global inflation and rising operational costs. Just yesterday, the stakeholders meeting in the communication sector approved a 50% tariff increment on calls and data. Correspondent Kilojo reports that the minister, while appearing before the Joint Committees on Communication, added that the decision aligns with broader economic patterns, where tariffs can lead to higher consumer prices due to the added cost on imported goods. Speaking to journalists moments after defending his ministry's budget of 12 billion naira for 2025, Bosun stated that 50% adjustment aligns with broader economic trends. According to the minister, historically, tariff acts as a sales tax, causing a one-off price increase rather than sustained inflation.
Development, I think the hike is also based on inflation globally. This is a sector that has not increased price for a long time. In fact, what government has been doing is managing the situation. The companies have been crying out for a long time that they're struggling. The cost of diesel, you can imagine how much they bought diesel last year and how much it's going for this year. And this is not a problem that is unique to Nigeria. But what we've done with them is saying that telecommunication services are now extremely important to our people. So it's not something you can just increase price haphazardly. But also, how do we support them to ensure that these companies continue to stay sustainable? This is a sector that employs about 15,000 people directly, the employees of these MNOs.
He further explained that the federal government of Nigeria is planning to invest 6 billion naira to deploy 90,000 kilometers of fiber optic cable, expanding the country's capacity from 35,000 kilometers to 125,000 kilometers.
Worked hard internally as professionals and political appointees, also with the support of the committee chairs, to secure the commitment of the World Bank, AFDB, and a number of other DFIs to help us invest in a $2 billion project that will lay 90,000 kilometers of fiber optic cables across this country.
Nigerians have expressed their displeasure about the recent 50% increase in the tariff of telecommunication in the country. It was shocking to many Nigerians when the news filtered to the public space, and they wondered why the unending increases in virtually all utility services in the country, more so when the people are facing economic hardship. In lieu of the prevailing harsh economic situation of the country, the people charged the government to look for a way to give support to cushion the economic situation by subsidizing some of the important essential services pending when the economy improves. The Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Architect Ahmed Musa Dangiwa, presented a 83.75 billion naira 2025 budget proposal to the Senate Committee on Housing, chaired by Senator Aminu Tambuwal. The budget focuses on the Renewed Hope Housing Initiative, with over 10,000 housing units under construction in 14 locations nationwide, expected to create over 52,000 skilled jobs. Correspondent Kilojo reports that Dangiwa highlighted land allocation delays by some state governors as a significant obstacle to the initiative. He also cited
the program is expected to bridge the housing deficit through systemic increase in housing supply rate and across the Federation. Under the program, Your Excellency, we plan to build 50,000 housing units under Phase 1 across the country. Currently, we have over 10,112 housing units that are spread across the country under construction in 14 locations nationwide, creating 252,800 skilled jobs. We have made efforts to bring forward a magazine that shows all the project locations and during the groundbreaking which we did.
Senators questioned the practice of awarding contracts without secured funding and sought clarification on unutilized funds and incomplete projects.
The remark is projects ongoing. My question on that is that you are aware that everything that has to do with 2023 appropriation, whether supplementary or the main budget, main appropriation, lapsed to 31st December last year. 31st December.
Yes.
So there is no more extension coming into 2024. So what it means is that everything about the supplementary appropriation should have been concluded.
Raised, but I'm not too clear as to the minister's answer in terms of your mechanism, Honorable Minister, by which you intend to accomplish the first one, which is the one that 100 billion was released for. Because now in your answers you said the money you are even requesting, the 92 billion, doesn't even include the balance you need to finish it up.
What could have been the reason why same government that in supplementary appropriation was able to give you 100 billion, in 2024 budget 162 billion, is now giving you 83 billion? I think we should really think through this. What informed this sudden shift by the executive? In the last 1 year, we can say you have been given 262 billion, and now we're battling to see how we're going to manage in this sector 83 billion.
In response, Dangiwa assured the committee that outstanding debts will not impede project completion and reiterated his commitments to ensuring all ongoing development are finished on time. The Office of the Auditor General for the Federation may have zero allocation for 2025 due to the suspension of its budget defense session by the Senate. The Senate had earlier scheduled Wednesday, 22nd January 2025, as deadline for budget defenses to pave the way for the Committee on Appropriation to harmonize various reports. Correspondent Kulojo reports that during Tuesday's budget defense, Chairman of Senate Committee on Public Accounts Ahmed Wadada sent the Auditor General for the Federation, Shaka Shira, and his team packing due to ill preparation and lack of diligent handling of his document. Shira, who appeared before the committee, could not answer questions posed to him concerning the 2024 budget performance of his office. During the presentation, members of the Joint Committee complained that the copy of budget documents being read by the Auditor General was different from the ones made available to them.
The Office of the Auditor General for the Federation that is saddled with the responsibility of auditing ministries, departments and agencies to ensure transparency and accountability in the management of public funds is before this committee, and this committee is saddled with the responsibility of auditing the Office of the Auditor General, and with those grey areas coming from the Office of Needful is for us to suspend the defense, treating the budget of the Office of the Auditor General for the Federation until those grey areas are cleared.
Allying fears of missing the budget chances, Wadada told the press after the committee meeting that it is left for the Auditor General for the Federation to go get prepared and return even in 2 hours, now that he has been told that Wednesday is the deadline. The Federal Ministry of Finance, along with other government agencies, appeared before the House of Representatives Committee on Finance today to defend their expenditures and justify their 2025 budget proposals. Permanent Secretary, Minister of Finance Lydia Jafia, who spoke on behalf of the newly appointed Minister of State for Finance Doris Uzoko Anita, said the ministry reported full utilization of its 8.16 billion naira budget in 2024 and requested a significant increase of 25 billion naira for 2025. Correspondent Nabuchi Uke Nabuchi sent in this report.
Mrs. Jafia said the additional funds are intended to address issues such as exchange rate differentials, increased overhead costs and capital expenditure needs.
For overhead, we have 3,565,515,897 naira. Capital for 2025 proposal 7,450,800,902 naira, totaling 13,511,607,568 naira.
On his side, the Chairman Fiscal Responsibility Commission (FRC), Victor Muruako, urged the committee to amend the Enabling Act for better operational efficiency. He raised concerns over 50 offences in the Fiscal Responsibility Act lacking specified penalties.
2025 budget proposal for the Commission. We make haste to repeat that whatever we have here is based on the budget, the envelope given to us. And we further say that it's insufficient for the Commission to continue to achieve our mandate under the Fiscal Responsibility Act. The Commission, based on is proposing an estimated, we are optimistic that if we are supported and better funded, we can achieve a lot more for the CRF. On pages 16 to 19 are the breakdowns of the Commission's 2025 appropriation bill, already forwarded to the Budget Office of the Federation.
The session turned contentious when the acting managing director of the Nigerian Bulk Electricity Trading (NBET) revealed that 705 billion naira was earmarked for electricity subsidies in 2025. These drew criticism from legislators who questioned the increase from the 450 billion naira spent in 2024, especially in light of rising electricity tariffs. Committee Chairman Honorable James Falike also flagged the proposed 277 million naira welfare allocation in NBET's 2025 budget, promising to remove it.
The FX had not moved significantly following the flotation of the naira. Upon the floating of the naira, it became apparent that the 450 could not meet the allocation, so the significant amount is still owed GENCOs as tariff shortfall. That's because those movement significantly from 460 naira to the dollar to about 1,600 plus at the moment has resulted in significant shift.
You are here in National Assembly. Are you using official rate or black market rate?
It's official CBN rate.
That's the reason why we proposed, we spent 450 billion last year as subsidy, and we now want to spend 708, despite the increase in tariff. That's the issue. The tariff has been increased, and Nigerians are paying heavily for it, and we still want to continue to fund GENCOs. No, something is wrong somewhere. Let us clear it. Let's be sure of what exactly it is. So, because if you are not careful, what we are saying directly is that each time the GENCOs increase their tariff, we will continue to increase our support for them.
The committee, however, resolved to meet with the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission (NERC) and NBET for detailed justification of the 705 billion naira subsidy under the Power Reform Program. Until then, further consideration of the proposed budget remains on hold.
The Minister of Women Affairs condemns the gruesome killing of Salomia Daidu by her estranged lover in Nasarawa State and demands justice. Details of these and more we come to you shortly. To stay with us. We're glad to have you back. Now, for more updates and latest news, please visit our website www.galaxytvonline.com. Connect with us on our X handle at Galaxy TV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/GalaxyTVNews. You can follow and interact with us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/GalaxyTV. Remember to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at Galaxy TV. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate your live update and comment, as you can easily scan our IG QR code. The House of Representatives Committee on Navy has called for increased funding for the Nigerian Navy to strengthen its capacity to secure the nation's waterways, opposing the establishment of a separate Coast Guard. The committee chairman, Honorable Yusuf Gadi, made this recommendation during the 2025 budget defense session in Abuja. He criticized the lack of sufficient funding for the Navy and opposed the creation of a new agency, stating it will be unwise to do so when the Navy is underfunded.
We have a Navy that is suffocated of funding. We have a Navy that is doing well, and we want additional funding for the Nigerian Navy. As National Assembly, it will be irrational for us to consider passage of another sister agency when the existing agency is not being adequately funded. We must work together to ensure that we've educated the Nigerian people, and we must work together to ensure that we protect the Nigerian Navy on the floor of the House of Representatives.
Chief of Naval Staff Emmanuel Ogala also highlighted funding challenges, noting the Navy received 211.2 billion naira in 2024 funding, 42.9 billion naira for capital expenditure, and 132.26 billion naira for personal costs.
We articulated a total budget estimate, that's total budget estimate of about 360 million. To be able to capture that. Our envelope to 88 billion 373 million 538,798 naira. So we had to work with this budget. So we have budgeted a total of 88 billion. Our proposal of 88 billion 373 million 538,798 naira.
The Minister of Women Affairs, Hajia Iman Salome Adaidu, by her estranged lover in Cairo area of Nasarawa State. Prior to her gruesome murder, the 24-year-old victim was a member of the National Youth Service Corps, serving at Nikon Insurance in Abuja, the nation's capital. The minister, in a statement signed by the Special Advisor on Media and Publicity to the Minister, Jonathan Eze, the minister strongly condemned the heinous act and demanded justice for Salome and her family. As a mother, the minister said she has not been able to come to terms with the senseless killing and dismembering of the body of a promising lady, Miss Salome Adaidu. She called on parents and the Nigerian communities to take ownership of the safety and protection of women and girls and their children, adding that something drastic has to be done to curtail future occurrence of such incidents. The family of Christy Adebamiwa Ni Olamiti bids their matron goodbye in a lovely ceremony. Our correspondent Shegun Falomo, who was at the event, sent in this report.
It was indeed a celebration of life when families, friends and well-wishers gather to bid their mother, sister and grandmother, Mrs. Christy Uluakaiko Adebamiwa Ne Olamiti, farewell at the St. Anne's Church, Molete, Ibadan, Oyo State. In his sermon at funeral service, Most Reverend Joseph Akinfenwa, Bishop of Ibadan Diocese, admonished the congregation to embrace virtues and lifestyles found worthy in the face of God. Madam Adebamiwa was born into the family of late Pa Akinseye Olamiti and Mrs. Juliana Oluwawemimo Olamiti at Idori in Ondo State. During her lifetime, she was an educationist, disciplinarian, a rallying figure for her family, and served the Creator to her last breath. She married the love of her life, late died on the 18th of October 2024 at the age of 83 years and was buried on the 17th of January 2025. She is survived by brothers, sisters, children, and grandchildren.
Who desires to make heaven, who is here today, who wants to escape from hell and become a candidate of heaven. The devil has nothing good to offer you. If you collect riches from the devil, it will end one day. Collect anything from the devil, he will collect double or triple back from you. The devil has nothing to offer you. His work is to steal, to kill, and to destroy. So if you think you are enjoying anything from the devil today, listen to the gospel truth. The devil is just feeding you like a Christmas chicken. And when it is time, he will pick that chicken, slaughter it, and consume it.
She went in an old age, but looking back on what she has done for me personally, as a brother, I've missed her sorely.
The federal government has debunked claim in some quarters that the Kano-Abuja Road has been awarded to an unknown contractor. Recall that the Abuja-Kano Road was withdrawn by the government from Julius Berger Construction Company. Correspondent Kilojo reports that the Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, who made the clarification at a news conference in Abuja on Tuesday, said though the project is awaiting approval of the Federal Executive Council for approval, adding that there was a misrepresentation of the name of the company that bidded for the project.
Minister of Works awarded Abuja-Kano to an obscured company. Let me say, and I'll give to you, better say they were not invited to bid. Don't forget that we have 2 lots on Abuja-Kano so that we can finish in 40 months. The first one has gone to BPP, the second one is under procurement. In each of these lots, we duly and in writing invited Beja among 5 other companies to bid.
The minister, who accused the construction company of constant review of prices for projects, maintained that he refused to be blackmailed by any contractors, stressing that President Bola Tinubu is so passionate with putting the roads in good shape for rapid socio-economic development and as well avoid incessant loss of lives.
You know, Nigerians to appreciate the heartbeat of the president to develop our road infrastructure. It's not just to develop it, to make it to be durable. And so those that are marketing us should begin to look at what the contractor will do as soon as FEC approves it. And I pray God that FEC will approve it. And they will begin to see a lot of, ingenuity work.
Judiciously and tightly address this issue head on. And with facts and figures, anybody who cares to know or to listen or to read will agree with me that this issue has been squarely addressed. It doesn't need a rocket scientist to understand.
Boosting food security in Benue State will no doubt cushion hunger in Nigeria, but this cannot be achieved if those behind food production displaced from their ancestral homes and farmlands by marauding herdsmen can barely return. The safe return of internally displaced persons of Bange Tongov of Gwer West local government area along abandoned Nagi Agbaragba road. They farm mostly rice, millet, soya beans, yams, among others. Correspondent Gabriel Audia, who files in this report, takes a look at the reopening of resettlement for IDPs to boost food security in Benue communities. The report.
For over a decade, several Benue communities along the Nagi-Agberagba road axis in Gwe West local government area have been attacked and displaced, abandoning their farmlands due to herdsmen militia and the poor road conditions. But today, with relative peace witnessed in the community with the return of IDPs, the people are filled with joy, hoping that this development effort, facilitated by Chushin Development Association President Chief Danungu Tiza, will bring in a new vista of hope.
We thank Governor Alia for ensuring our return back to our ancestral home after 14 years of not accessing our homes as a result of persistent attacks by the Fulani herdsmen. Our major challenge here is we are purely farmers, and we are appealing to the governor and any other person to help us with farm inputs and chemicals for us to farm and produce more product for the country. So if the government or any other person can provide shelters for us to sleep, we will be happy. If not, if it is rainy season, what are we going to do here? We thank our brother who is also constructing road to lead to our deserted villages.
Some residents and returning IDPs called on government and well-meaning individuals to step in and help rebuild critical infrastructures like homes, schools and hospitals, enabling the community to fully resettle and build their lives.
Now he came to assist us construct road starting from Naji Campo to Agberagba branch, so that his people we go back to our various places and manage what we have done. We people were not poor people for the back, because we have better costs that we have collected from that place, such like rice, guinea corn, maize, yam, fishing. And now as we come up because of this Fulani issue, we dey stranded now. We have nothing. We dey poor.
It reached 16 years, and the thing pains us too much. As we come get a little power to, we will carry us reach our house. We dey happy with him too much. Market today, revenue day is at plenty. Even go west myself, the whole go west na there revenue they come out. As we no get anything now, land day, but to do work, if you got government to help us, we will do work. As we dey come back now, we no get anything. Even food myself, as we go reach before we go get food where we go chop.
Meanwhile, the Bangi Tongov district remains one of the areas mostly affected by marauding others. It is hoped that this effort will bring renewed hope and food security in Benue State as a food basket of Nigeria.
For Nigeria to achieve a more sustainable food production this year, 2025, in view of the threat of food security, government have been advised to invest more in rural communities to support farmers and farming communities. According to the farmers, Nigeria is blessed with arable fertile lands for agriculture, but can barely boast of producing to its full potential due to absence of basic amenities and infrastructure. In Benue State, the farmers are saying providing these key infrastructure despite pocketing of insecurity, sustaining food production is achievable. The farmers called on the federal, state and local governments to invest more in rural electrification projects, provide solar-powered equipment and enablers for cottage facilities to preserve and produce fruit. Observing from improved food value chain, it would also reduce rural-urban migration.
Affordable electricity within our reach. That will be very, very important. Because the challenge most of the time is when you harvest your produce and you don't have storage facilities, there's no electricity, and maybe in a very short space of time, if you're not able to take it to the farm, it got spoiled. And the losses we incur are enormous. And in case, if there are no market, if the facilities are there, we process it, and maybe to even create a value chain. Take tomato, for instance. The last time my wife took about 6 baskets of tomato to the market, she couldn't sell. And within a very short time, the whole thing got spoiled. It was a waste.
As an animal scientist, infrastructure is one of the key paramount points if the government can work on to increase and boost production. And also looking at the value chain. If we are talking about value chain, it is the additional value after production, that is the post-production value. So there are several things that you can do that will increase and extend the shelf life of this produce.
The people in the rural environment, they are the one cultivating, they have the lands, they have the manpower, but the problem is they lack technology. So the government need to invest more in the rural areas so that they can have at least mini industry or small factories that they can process the food, the products, so that they can have a little value chain.
The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluide, has inaugurated the counter-terrorism village at the Nigerian Defense Academy, Afaka, Kaduna State, in honor of the late UAS, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja. Oluide on Tuesday also inaugurated the Army Wing Auditorium, a 30-man corporal and below quarters and commanding officers house at the 37 NDA Demo Battalion. Or the project with the groundbreaking and foundation laying ceremony of 500 capacity cadets mess and 2 times block of classrooms, administrative block and girls hostel at the NDA boarding secondary school. The Chief of Army Staff also said the Commandant of the Nigerian Defense Academy has done well with the resources given to him, which is a good example to the cadets themselves.
It is expected that those resources are channeled in the right direction. So what we have come to do today is to witness what the ND Commandant has done with the resources given to him by the government. And like you all saw, we commissioned several projects today. And it's quite laudable that we have people leading by example. Remember, the Academy is a place where we bring out future leaders. So for us to have a commandant who is doing well, it shows that we're giving examples, the right examples to the people that we're training here.
Worthy of mention is the Counterinsurgency and Counterterrorism Center, built and named after our late Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General T.A. Lagbaja, who gave his all in the service of the nation. May his gentle soul continue to rest in peace. The transformation the Nigerian Defense Academy is going through is deeply rooted in our resolve.
That is what they're going to face in the field. And particularly, that was named after our late leader, Lieutenant General T.A. Lagbaja, of blessed memory, who was someone that gave his all to Nigeria. He was very pragmatic, a first-class field officer. So naming that structure after him was quite apt, and we are proud of him till eternity.
And now we'll move over to the foreign desk for more news.
This is news from the international scene. From behind his desk in the Oval Office, President Donald Trump signed a flurry of executive orders and decrees aimed at cracking down on immigration. From one order tackling the definition of birthright citizenship to another declaring illegal immigration at the border a national emergency, Trump swiftly made moves on his promises to tighten the U.S.-Mexico border. But some of his plans, particularly around changing the definition of birthright citizenship, are likely to face significant hurdles. He is already facing legal challenges from immigration advocacy groups, which have reacted furiously to his announcements. One organization said his plans do not uphold American values, and another said Trump's administration was actively trying to destroy our lives. In his inaugural address earlier in the day, Trump vowed that all illegal entry will be altered and that millions of criminal aliens will be deported. He also signed an order declaring Mexican and drug cartel terrorist organizations higher responsibility than to defend our country from threats and evasions, he explained. At another event at Washington's Capital One Arena, Trump formally revoked nearly 80 executive actions of his predecessor Joe Biden. He had previously vowed to scrap Biden's policies within 5 minutes. South Korea's suspended President Yoon Suk-yeol has made his first appearance at his impeachment trial, where he denied ordering the arrest of lawmakers during his attempt to impose martial law. Parliament voted to impeach Yoon last month, and last week the Constitutional Court began a trial to decide whether to permanently remove him from office. Yoon is also facing a separate criminal investigation into whether he led an insurrection. He has been detained since last week. Security was tight on Tuesday as Yoon was transported by van from the detention center where he is being held to the Constitutional Court. Police formed human walls and held up anti-riot barricades to stop hundreds of his supporters who had gathered nearby from getting too close. Last weekend saw violence as dozens of Yoon supporters clashed with law enforcers and broke into another courthouse. On Tuesday, Yoon was asked if he had ordered military commanders to drag out lawmakers from Parliament on the night he declared martial law in order to prevent them from overturning his order. He replied no. Military commanders had earlier alleged that Yoon had given such an order on 3rd December after lawmakers climbed fences and broke barricades to enter the Parliament building and vote down Yoon's martial law declaration. Australia's federal police have said they are investigating whether overseas actors or individuals are paying criminals to carry out anti-Semitic crimes in the country. There has been a spate of such incidents in recent months, the latest of which saw a childcare centre in Sydney set alight and sprayed with anti-Jewish graffiti. No one was injured. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese called a snap cabinet meeting in response, where officials agreed to set up a national database to investigate such incidents, received more than 166 reports of anti-Semitic crimes. We are looking into whether overseas actors or individuals have paid local criminals in Australia to carry out some of these crimes in our suburbs, Australian Federal Police AFP Commissioner Reece Kershaw said, adding that it was possible that cryptocurrency was involved. The digital currency can take longer to identify, Kershaw said. The commissioner said police were also investigating whether young people were carrying out these crimes and whether they had been radicalized online. Still on the international scene, a fire at a hotel in the Turkish ski resort of Bolu has left 10 people dead and 32 others injured, according to Interior Minister Ali Yerlikaya. At least 2 of the victims died after jumping from the hotel's windows, Turkish reports said. The fire broke out at the 12-story Gan Katal Hotel at 3:27 a.m. local time during a busy holiday period when 234 people were staying there, he added. Footage circulated in Turkey showed linens hanging